Hey y'all, this is episode number 36. Going to be talking about how whistleblowers are apparently cool now and what that means in the scope of the Trump impeachment and give my thoughts on the impeachment inquiry as well. So if you are in the Austin area and you are looking to have your TV mounted on the wall, your sound system upgraded, or anything going on with entertainment system type stuff, check out Bat City TV. Let them know the Sovereign Individual podcast sent you and they'll hook you up with a discount. And thank you once again to Flavor Raid for creating the intro music you're about to hear. Their EP, All My Life, is available on Spotify and wherever you listen to music. So please make sure to check that out. Give them a like, follow them, all that good stuff. And please enjoy this episode. What is up, y'all? This is the Sovereign Individual Podcast. I am your host, Eric Guerra. Thank you once again for being here. It's been a minute. It has been a minute. The month of September was crazy. Just I had a lot going on, and it prevented me from being able to kind of give the time to recording that I wanted to. I did get a good conversation in with Peter Nowak, so I hope y'all were able to enjoy that. I enjoyed that one a lot myself. Got more interviews or conversations, I guess, rather, coming on the horizon. So we should have some more of those coming up. But it's been a while since I did a solo one, and here we are today. We're going to do that. So if you're liking what you're hearing so far, please subscribe, rate, and review the show, and share it with anybody else you think might enjoy it. So I do plan, and there's still 3 episodes left in the Why I Distrust Government series that I do plan on doing. I want to get to those, and those will be coming out because I do have 3 dedicated things that I specifically want to talk about. But today, just had to talk about it. Talked about it a little tiny bit with Peter during our conversation, but it's just all over the news. And I have I have to get something off my chest when it comes to this whole impeachment thing. So that's what we're going to be doing today. That's what I'm going to be talking about. So let's dive into it. So yeah, the Trump impeachment thing is going on. The inquiry has started. All this stuff is happening, and it's a very interesting position to be in as a libertarian because I really don't care about what happens to Trump. I don't care one way or another. I'm not rooting for him to be impeached. I'm not rooting for him to stay in office. I don't care what happens to this man. I don't care if he gets removed from office. I don't care if he ends up in a cell. I don't care at all what happens to this man whatsoever. I don't believe in the legitimacy of this government. I don't believe in the legitimacy of any of these positions that any of these people involved in this whole thing are holding. I don't believe in the legitimacy of the power that we've given any of these people over ourselves. So for me, it's just like, yeah, I don't care. These are people who think that they have the right to dictate how the rest of society gets to live their lives, and they're having their own little bickering squabble. And it's broadcast for us, the masses, to keep us entertained and to keep us distracted and all this kind of stuff. And so I don't really care. I don't think he's going to be removed. If I had to put money on it, and if anybody knows me, they know I'm a gambling man. If I had to put money on it, I'd say that he's not going to be removed. He may be impeached, but he's probably not going to be removed. If anything, this might galvanize the Republican Party, and it may lead to him winning in the 2020 election. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how this plays out. Again, don't really care. I'll keep an eye on it here or there, but I don't care. And one of the reasons that I don't care at all is because it won't change anything. And this is a weird argument that I've seen made by some folks within the liberty movement and libertarians. They're like, well, it's going to set this precedent that future presidents won't abuse power because they know that they can be impeached from it. That's not what's going to happen at all. It's not going to change anything. All this is going to show is that you don't challenge the CIA or the FBI, or else they'll bring you down. That's all this is going to show any future presidents. So like, hey, toe the line, play the game, don't upset the military-industrial complex, don't upset our spooks and our intelligence agency, and then, go make your millions upon millions upon millions after you get out of office. Just play the game right, bomb the countries that we want you to bomb, and then you'll be able to get out of here. That's all that is going to come of this. Because the thing is, and this is what is one of the more, what's one of the more frustrating things as a libertarian watching this all go down, is there are legitimate war crimes being committed in the name of the United States by Saudi Arabia against the Yemenis people using weapons that we sold them. And that's not something that he's being brought up of. There's no war crimes being brought up, because if they were to try to impeach him, they don't have the balls to do it. Because if they were to impeach him on that, they would have to admit, oh, well, no, man, that means Obama was a war criminal too, right? Because he dropped more bombs than any president in history. He killed indiscriminately. He lied about the fact that the drone program existed and that we were using drones to bomb people, and then got a Nobel Peace Prize while he was doing it, by the way, and then bombed and used drones indiscriminately. And statistically, over 90% of individuals killed in drone strikes are civilians, not involved, not the target. So they would have to admit that Obama is a war criminal, and they would have to admit, at least folks on the Democratic side would have to admit that their new favorite former Republican president, Mr. George W. Bush, he's all buddy with Michelle Obama, and all the Dems think it's cute, and people on the left are like, oh man, remember Bush? Like, yeah, why couldn't we have if it was a Republican president, why couldn't it be someone like him? Like, he's this cool guy. They would have to admit he's a war criminal too, because he started all of this that's going on right now. As a result of his actions, millions of people have died in the Middle East. And we had a nonstop state of war, and they increased the wars during the Obama administration from 2 to 9. So there's no change that's going to happen here, because that would be the only way that change would actually occur. If you were to impeach Trump on this and say, hey, you're killing babies and women and innocent people and men, women, and children half the world away. You're using taxpayer money to kill brown people. You're supporting a horrendous state government in Saudi Arabia. The human rights violations alone, they literally murdered a journalist, which is the only time the corporate media cared at all about this story. They don't care anymore. But you would never see him brought up on that. Because again, you gotta play the game. You gotta be in support of all of this stuff. Otherwise, you're gonna get taken down. And that's exactly what's happening here right now. And so that's what's really frustrating as a libertarian watching this, is knowing this isn't any sort of, there's no morality to this. This isn't because like, oh, we have to hold our elected officials to a higher standard and this is the reason why, and what he's doing is so wrong and so illegal. That's not. This is all political. It's all political theater. This has been in the works from the moment Trump was elected. The Democrats have been butthurt about the fact that they lost this election ever since that Tuesday night in November of 2016. And they have been working towards trying to find something to throw. They've just been flinging crap at the wall. We heard for 2 years about Russia collusion, and there was nothing there. And there was reasonable people within the media space that were saying there was nothing there. And yet we got that shoved down our throat for 2.5 years. And then lo and behold, nothing's there. So what happens? They start flinging more crap at the wall to see what'll stick and to see if they can get Trump on something, because it has been their goal from the moment that he got elected to impeach this man. And again, this is coming from somebody who does not care. This is coming from somebody watching on the outside who doesn't believe in the legitimacy of any of this, but can recognize a pattern and can recognize, hey, this is what's going on right here. Because it all started with James Comey coming into Trump's office early on and saying he tried to pull a J. Edgar Hoover. What J. Edgar Hoover did to Kennedy when he went into the Kennedy's office, shows him pictures of him gallivanting around with all these all these different women, and basically told him, now look, we've got these safe. We're going to make sure that they don't get out, because that would be awful if these pictures were to get out. So we will make sure to keep these safe and secure as long as you make sure to do what they want. That was kind of that was what was presented to Kennedy. And so Comey tried the same thing with Trump. He was like, hey, we got this Russia collusion thing, so play ball, and you aren't going to have to worry about that. And Trump, being Trump, fired him because he's trying, again, like, let's be real about the kind of guy that he is. He's this kind of, he's a New York businessman. He's shady as hell. So yeah, none of this surprises me of what's going on. And I don't think he's innocent in any of this. I'm not, again, this isn't me trying to say that this impeachment shouldn't happen. I do not care. I'm just strictly speaking about looking at it from the outside without a dog in the fight, not caring one way or another what happens to this man. And what I'm seeing is somebody looking at it objectively without the prism of hating Trump or supporting Trump. And so he fires James Comey. And it's been this battle with the deep state ever since. And you see it constantly. And so, again, just knowing that I just hate that argument that this is somehow going to make future presidents more aware of the fact that they can be impeached and somehow make them act more morally or within the bounds of the law, which is it's not going to happen. It's so frustrating to hear that, especially coming from people within the liberty movement, but just as a libertarian and an anarcho-capitalist in general, like, it's not going to change. Nothing's going to happen here. And what's even more... I'm going to end up cussing on this episode, I know it. What's even more frustrating about this as a libertarian and why the episode is named Whistleblowers Are Cool Now is, now whistleblowers are supposed to be protected. That's okay. Good to know. Good to know. The Democrats have the audacity to let those words escape their lips while Julian Assange and Chelsea Manning are sitting in prison cells right now, and Edward Snowden is in exile in Russia. And these same Democrats touting this bullshit about how whistleblowers deserve to be protected, and I don't mean that it's bullshit that they should be protected. I mean it's bullshit that they don't believe in it, because they would want to see Julian Assange, Chelsea Manning, and Edward Snowden dead. Every single one of these people. They're all full of shit. Telling me that whistleblowers should be protected. Get the fuck out of here. You're only saying that because this particular whistleblower, and it's not even a whistleblower, we're about to get into that, but you're only saying that because this particular quote-unquote whistleblower is going after the orange man, and the orange man is bad, so it has to be somebody that has to be protected. You don't care about exposing the wrongs that the government does. You just care about getting Trump out of office. Because again, that's what this has always been about. It's been about impeachment since the moment he was elected. The Democrats and the people on the left are butthurt that Trump won that election, that Hillary forgot about 5 states, that Hillary Clinton is one of the worst candidates that you could ever put up, yet the Democrats stole the primary from Bernie Sanders in order to put her up. But no, it's Russia's fault. It's Russia's fault. And then the Russia thing is sick. So now we got to find some other reason to bring Trump down, because it can't just be that the Democrats are idiots and ran one of the worst campaigns of all time, ran one of the worst candidates of all time, forgot about 5 of the most important swing states in an electoral college-based election. No, it can't be that. Can't be that. It's all wrong. She won the popular vote. She's the rightful president. This is an illegitimate president. So it doesn't matter how we impeach him. We just got to get him out because he's illegitimate. Is nuts. Trying to look at this from the outside as somebody who doesn't care, who doesn't see any of this theater as legitimate. And it's just, it makes me want to rip my hair out. And he's not even a whistleblower. He's a fucking CIA spook. And he... Again, this is a CIA spook that is butthurt that Trump won and is towing the line that the CIA and the FBI have been using since Trump got elected, since he fired James Comey for threatening him, and they're going after Trump in any way that they can. That's exactly what's going on here. They were trying to prevent him from becoming president. We have it on the record. FBI Schiff was texting his lover, whatever the hell that woman was, that like, oh, don't worry, we're going to prevent it from happening. This has been a deep state mindset from the jump. They were trying to prevent him from becoming president. Of course it's a CIA operative, analyst, whatever the hell it is, CIA analyst. That's the whistleblower. Of course, as soon as I saw that, of course. And of course it's secondhand information. It's hearsay. The analyst wasn't even in on the call, hadn't even read the transcript. Of course. You watch this from the outside and it's just like, this is exactly what's going on. Again, I don't care. I don't give a shit about Trump. I don't give a shit if he stays in office or not. But you gotta have your head in the sand to not see the clues here of what's going on, that this is the bureaucracy and the deep state going against the president who has told them to basically go fist themselves. You know, because let's not forget, Trump in front of Putin had the audacity to suggest that our intelligence community might be wrong about something and that might be lying about something. How dare he? He's a traitor to our country. He betrays us. Yeah. These same intelligence communities that lied us into Iraq, that lied about chemical attacks in Syria, that armed Al-Qaeda and ISIS in Syria. Yeah, Operation Timber Sycamore. We talked about that. And but yet Trump is a traitor for saying that. These people armed Al-Qaeda, the people who attacked us on 9/11. You want to talk about traitor? Let's be real here. God. Not even a whistleblower. If he was a real whistleblower, he would have blown the whistle on us selling arms to Al-Qaeda, of us arming and training Al-Qaeda, of us arming and training ISIS in Syria. Instead, we had to find out because 3 Green Berets got killed in Jordan, and that started to knock over the dominoes that gave us a little glimpse into what's going on, but we still don't really know what's going on. We know that we were funneling weapons through Saudi Arabia, and that's about it. It's insane. And this person's being held up as a hero, this whistleblower. Meanwhile, Assange and Chelsea Manning exposed war crimes being perpetuated by the United States in Iraq, a war we were lied into, mind you. But they should rot in jail. They deserve what they've got right now. They should die. Edward Snowden revealed massive spying on U.S. citizens by the NSA when we were told to our faces that was not going on. We were bold-faced lied to as American citizens, and he exposed that. No, he deserves to be in exile. He deserves to be killed. He's a traitor. Are you insane? Does anybody can anybody else see how crazy this is? This person, this CIA analyst, who's butthurt about Trump winning, who's not actually a whistleblower, who's just finding a way to try to impeach Trump because that's been the goal from the moment he got elected. This person is supposed to be held up by a hero, but when actual crimes and disgusting actions being committed by the U.S. government are exposed, those people are traitors? Get the fuck out of here. Fuck off. And the other frustrating part is that we're barely even talking about Biden's role in all this. How is that not more of a story? His son has no experience, doesn't speak the language, gets a job for $50,000 a month with a Ukrainian company. That's not getting talked about nearly enough. Biden was on record talking about withholding funds from the Ukraine in the exact same type of political maneuver. And that's not being talked about because, that was during Obama's administration. Obama's the golden boy. Nothing he did was wrong. You know, nothing. Let's ignore the fact of how many innocent people Obama murdered around the world. Let's ignore the fact that in the Ukraine, in Crimea, the Obama administration supported and held up and brought into power a neo-Nazi group. Let's ignore that. In this same region of the world that we're now experiencing this crap with. Let's ignore that. It's just insane. It is batshit insane watching this kind of farce go on and being told, having these these individuals that have the audacity to say the whistleblowers deserve to be protected. When I've seen what they've said about Chelsea Manning and Edward Snowden and Julian Assange. Fuck right off. You're full of shit. You don't believe a word of what you're saying. I mean, good Lord. It's just, I can't even, I don't really have much more to say on this. I just wanted to get that part off of my chest. Again, and I cannot stress this enough, this is coming from somebody who does not care about what happens to Trump, about what goes on with this impeachment. This is coming from somebody who believes with all of my heart that Trump should be impeached for war crimes. He should be tried for war crimes. He should be found guilty of war crimes, and he should be executed, or at the bare minimum, spend the rest of his life in prison. That's what I believe. I don't believe that because I'm butthurt that he won on election night back in 2016. I don't care. I don't care about any of that. I don't care. I don't believe in the legitimacy of this government. I don't believe in the legitimacy of democratic elections. What, because 51% gets to decide how the rest of the 49% need to live? No, you get 3 people together, 2 of them can vote away the rights of another person? That's bullshit. I don't believe in the legitimacy of that. I don't believe in the legitimacy of any of this. So no, I don't care one way or another, but I believe in my heart of hearts, if we're playing within this screwed up system that we got, yeah, there's absolutely impeachable offenses that he's done, and that he should be brought up for, and that he should be executed for when found guilty of these war crimes. But no, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about a phone call, about a tit for tat agreement with the Ukraine to look into blatant corruption by another U.S. politician. And again, I don't care what comes of this. I don't care what happens to Biden. I don't care what happens to Trump. But let's stop pretending this is some noble, crusade by the left and by the Democrats, and that they're truly bringing back the moral fabric of this country. This is naive and it's asinine. It's not what's going on here. That's all I'm asking is just recognize what's going on here. If you're excited that Trump is going to be impeached, that's fine. That's fine. Again, I don't care one way or another. If you want him out, fine. I don't care. Again, I don't believe in the legitimacy of any of this. So celebrate it. But let's recognize that this isn't a legitimate thing to go after him for. This is just the latest piece of crap that they're throwing at the wall to try to get something to stick. Because if you wanted to really go after him, he's presented great ways to go after him for being a fucking war criminal. All right, so that's going to be it for this episode. Wow, probably going to be my shortest one yet. What a way to come back. So, again, like I said, I've got the 3 remaining episodes of Why I Distrust the Government. Going to finish that series off. Don't know when exactly that's going to be, but going to try to get those out shortly and then try to get back on a regular rotation of doing these episodes. It's a little bit harder, especially with football season. I love football, so most of my weekends are taken up by watching a lot of football. So that's where we're looking at now. But thanks once again for listening. You are sovereign individuals, and even as much as I loathe, so are all the people that are saying whistleblowers need to be protected. They're sovereign individuals as well. I just wish they were a little more, what's the word I'm looking for? Steadfast in their claims and their beliefs. I just wish that was the case and that they actually wanted to defend real whistleblowers. But y'all have a good one.